Have you ever watched someone get humiliated in public and thought, someone needs to stop this? That's exactly what happened the night a so-called restaurant trainer decided to mentally destroy a brand new waiter just to feel powerful. She thought she was untouchable. She was wrong, because by the end of the night, the entire restaurant was watching her world collapse in real time. And trust me, the revenge was loud. If you've ever worked customer service, if you've ever watched someone abuse power just because they could, you're gonna love this one. Hit like, subscribe, and settle in, because this is one of the most satisfying, slow-burn revenge stories you'll hear today. This happened back in 2015, in one of those restaurants that doesn't need billboards or flashy ads. You know the type. No coupons, no gimmicks, no desperate social media promos. They survive on one thing only: word of mouth, which means reputation is everything. If customers love you, they tell friends. If employees act like monsters, word spreads even faster. At the time, I was grinding my way through nursing school, paying tuition the only way most students do, waiting tables, long shifts, sore feet, and the kind of exhaustion that seeps into your bones. I'd been there for a few months, long enough to know the menu backward, long enough that management trusted me, long enough that when new servers got cut loose after training, I was the one quietly keeping an eye on them. Not officially a trainer, but unofficially, absolutely. That night, I was paired next to him, an older guy, fresh out of incarceration, a little stiff, a little shy, the kind of person who double-checks everything because he's terrified of messing up. But he was kind, he listened, and he wanted to do well. It was his first night handling a full section on his own, and that's when they walked in. 6 people, all in their early 20s, loud, confident, already annoyed about something. And at the center of it all, her. The kind of woman who doesn't just talk, she commands. The kind who snaps fingers instead of raising a hand. The kind who wears authority like a weapon. 5 minutes after they're seated, he comes rushing over to me. Pale, confused, panicking. They're asking for something that isn't on the menu, but she says you have the ingredients. She says the other location makes it all the time. I could have told him to stand his ground, but first nights are fragile things, so I didn't. I told him to check with the kitchen. If they said no, I'd step in. The cooks shrugged. Yeah, we can do it. No problem. Or so we thought, because that moment, that single accommodation flipped a switch. From that point on, every single time he walked away from the table, she needed something else. Another drink, another napkin, another modification, another demand. Not requests, demands. The second he delivered one thing, she snapped her fingers for the next. No thank you, no patience, no humanity. I watched his shoulders creep upward with every trip, watched his hands shake when he wrote tickets, watched him scan the room like prey, hoping someone would rescue him. So I did what I could. I covered his other tables, timed my own section around his panic, met him in the back to remind him to breathe, and quietly warned him, they might not tip. It's not your fault. He nodded, but his eyes said something worse. He looked like a man who thought he was about to fail at life all over again.
They came in late, stayed late, past section close, and finally, when it was almost over, he came to me with a question that changed everything. How do I do an employee discount? I blinked. Employee? That's when he told me. The entire meal, she'd been mocking him, telling him she was a trainer at our other location, calling him the worst waiter she'd ever seen, laughing at him openly at his own table. Suddenly, it all clicked. The confidence, the entitlement, the cruelty. This wasn't about food. This was about power. And then came the final insult. She claimed there were multiple birthdays at the table, demanded free cake, demanded the birthday song immediately. That's when something inside me snapped. Not anger, rage. The quiet, focused kind. The kind that smiles.
I told him to prep the cakes, but not to go out yet. Instead, I went straight to the manager. And here's the thing. These managers were rare. They had our backs. I told him everything. The abuse, the fake authority, the stacked discounts she requested, which she absolutely knew were not allowed. He didn't interrupt. He didn't hesitate. He smiled and said yes while he made a phone call, a very important phone call. Meanwhile, I did some recruiting. Servers, hosts, dishwasher, anyone still breathing in the building. I explained the plan in 10 seconds flat. Every face lit up. We were ready. We lined up, free cakes in front of every seat. She was smirking, satisfied, victorious. And then we sang. Not politely, not cheerfully. We screamed. A massive group, echoing corner, an absurdly long birthday song. The sound slammed back at us. Her smile vanished. Hands flew to ears. People winced. Chairs shifted. I know it hurt because it hurt us, and I loved every second. But that wasn't even the best part.
While we were singing, the manager finished his call. Her manager. The general manager. Employee number confirmed. Behavior reported. And when she was handed the phone, she cried, begged, made excuses. It didn't matter. She didn't get a discount, she didn't get sympathy, and she didn't have a job anymore. I don't know what happened after, but I know this. She learned something that night, and so did he. Kindness matters. Power isn't permanent, and sometimes justice sings back.
Karma doesn't always come quietly. Sometimes it comes with cake, a choir, and consequences. And honestly, that's my favorite kind. If this story made you smile, hit like. If you've ever worked customer service, hit subscribe. And tell us in the comments, what's the most satisfying public karma you've ever seen? We'll see you in the next story.